All right, guys, let's do this. What up? It's JoJo on the radio. This is the iHeartRadio Countdown. Oh, my God. Max, so good to see you, dude.
Good to see you, brother.
All right, we got a lot to talk about. First of all, the album. We'll get to that in a second. The song that my wife and daughter have been singing in the house. It's like on repeat because of them. Stupid in Love. We'll get to that as well. Dude, why is this song so addicting?
I'm grateful that people love it. It's just a lot of heart in it, you know? We had so much fun making it, and I'm glad that people like it. I'm so glad.
Max, the other day, he texted me up. This is right when the album's about to come out. You know, he says, "Hey, JoJo, do you want to come to see the show? Because you did a couple of intimate shows."
Yes,
you know?
yes.
And I said, well, yeah. So and then I texted him back, "Hey, you want to come do the radio show?"
I got you,
like,
baby.
yeah. Hey, what is it? I'll cover because I want to talk about your stadium show you did in Korea as well. But what is it? Talk about an intimate crowd versus a larger. What can you do? Like, what is there's something special to it.
Yes.
What is it from your POV?
One of my favorites is that I've been missing crowd surfing. I love just like getting in that crowd and just being my small body being passed around the whole crowd. It's true trust fall, true vulnerability. It's very connective.
I'm afraid to do that.
Yeah, you know, I say something before I do it. I'm like, can I trust everybody in the crowd? It's like a real exercise. And then I just kind of literally ride the wave. Like, I'm like going from each person. I'm like, all right, keep it going. Just keep me safe. Like, I have another show.
God.
So it's like the truest trust with the audience, which is nice.
Now, before you do it, and I've had chats with people about this, and I've clearly overthought it. Take stuff out of your pockets. Not that things would be in your pocket on the, you know.
Yes.
And do people kind of reach in and grab and?
No, I'm sure my butt gets grabbed a lot, but I don't really notice it. My body's just like in it. I don't know. It feels very spiritual. Like I'm in there and we're all just connected, and I'm just like feeling my best. I love it. It's one of my favorite things I get to do.
One day I want to do that.
I can't believe you haven't. You're such a rock star. You've been doing this for so long.
I've never I've been asked before, and I've never done it. One of these days I want to do that.
I would love to. Yes, I would love to be your first. That would be incredible.
I would. Should I be afraid or no?
No, it's true trust with like you let them know and make sure that you feel good.
Like if I were doing this thing with you,
yes.
I would be. Would you like set up talking to like, hey, don't?
Yes, keep JoJo's beautiful body safe. I would.
All right, describe. I'll tell you my favorites in a second. Describe this album.
You know, I feel really lucky that I've gotten to experience love in very different ways between my daughter and my wife and people in my life and you. Exactly, there's plenty. And
right.
so I think I think it just really hit me that I'm the one who's supposed to be making these kinds of songs. It just comes naturally, and that's what I love doing, and that's what this album's all about. Just those different flavors, those different experiences, and the warmth, and so that's what it really feels like.
And the song with your daughter.
Yes.
She's 3.
Yes.
Her reaction when she heard this.
She like really doesn't care.
I put my heart and soul in this.
It's so cute though. Like that's not why I do it. You know, she like it's for her forever, and I feel like I get a little emotional when I talk about it. But there's a line in the song about one day I won't be here, and the song will still be here for you, and maybe then it'll mean something to her. But you got to just do it because that's the dedication to her. So it'll always be that moment for me holding her in the hospital for the first time.
I know that feeling, dude.
Yeah, man. I know you do.
All right, the song, my favorite, if I'm allowed to pick a favorite,
please,
is "Say Less."
Ooh, I love that. Great taste.
That song is it's funk from top to bottom, dude.
Thank you.
What song? Here's my question: what song almost didn't make the album?
Oh, great question. Wow.
And the reason I asked that because more times than not, that song becomes massive for some reason.
So real. Well, I will say that it's interesting that like. What song didn't almost make it truly? I would say Summer 16. That's a song that almost didn't make the album. Yes. Only because, I mean, everybody who wrote it knows this, but I really tested everything on my wife because, of course, so much of it is dedicated to her, and she is very honest with me. Like, I write a lot on songs for her, and sometimes she's like, I don't really like that one. And I'm like, okay, well, if you don't, that's all good. And she kind of turned around on that one. She, like, didn't really love it at first, and everybody who wrote it was like, oh, it's so special. And then I played the album through a few times when I was choosing the songs, and she was like, actually, this one's growing on me. And I was like, okay, good, it made it. So that one was one that almost didn't make it.
So do you have a stash of like a file of songs that rejected
so many songs rejected by, but it's so cool. I love that I get to write for others, and sometimes those songs become other people's songs, which is amazing because I still love them. So yeah.
God, I would love to hear sit with your wife and you and go, what the songs she rejected. That's an album of songs that she just vetoed.
Yes. And sometimes it's generally like that. Yeah, it is. The vetoed album songs. That's going to be the deluxe for sure.
You went to Korea.
Yes,
you
sir.
co-wrote with SSERAFIM.
Yes.
And that's where you met Yoonjin.
Yes, exactly.
Give me the whole, because you met the ladies, you work with them, and then for some reason you and her connected. Oh, I don't know what, why did you and her kind of come together on this?
Yeah, great question.
And meeting all the ladies, of course,
It was amazing. I really am starting to realize I'm such a kind of go-getter. I like really, go for it with opportunities and stuff. But some of the coolest things that have happened to me have just like the universe has sent my way. And Yoonjin was one of those where I was in Korea and I've gotten to co-write a lot of stuff with the BTS team. And I was working with them and one of the team members was like, hey, my best friend is the A&R for SSERAFIM and they're wondering if you wouldn't mind trying to write with us. And I was like, that'd be amazing, sure. So I showed up and I received this really sweet note written by Yoonjin on their CD about how she was a fan and it would be a dream to work together. And I was like, wow, it was a very like earnest note. And so I got to stay a few extra days and see her perform live. And I was really blown away. And then I found out she was from Albany, New York, and I'm from New York. And I was like, that's what? And then we met, and I just really loved her vibe. I was blown away by her stage presence. And then, I left and I sent her the song just to see if she liked it. And right away, she sent me that verse back. And I mean, she was just meant to be on it. I'm glad that she joined it, and she really brought it to a whole new level. And I'm grateful for her. So that's how we met.
Do you foresee like working with her, like maybe just writing in the future? You can see that happening?
I would do anything with those. I'm such a fan too. I love the new record Easy, the mini album they're putting out is so cool. I just love their visuals. They're just a visionary team, so I'm really grateful to be a part of their world and them to lend their talents to mine.
Max, you performed your first, to my understanding, first stadium show in Korea. We're talking we talked about the intimate shows earlier. Now the 40,000 screaming crazy fans. What is that? How is that different from the intimate show? What's that like?
Oh my gosh, the echo is crazy. Like you're on stage and it feels like you're in a different world. There's so many people and you're just like, how do I perform for the very back person? Like
how do you?
I like to try to figure out. That's kind of the best thing about performing live. It's the psychology of how do I make every single person feel connected in that space. So it's everything from just like checking in on the person in the very back to, just like singing for them, but also singing for the front. It's like a constant present thing. But it was crazy. I definitely felt like I was in the middle of like an island in a bizarre way. Like I had to get used to it because it was such a different feeling than being like so surrounded by the energy, I guess. So just being in front of all those people and it just felt surreal. So
are you more like, I guess, like the cam and the jumbotron? Do you play more to the screen at times because that's how they see you in the back, basically?
Sometimes, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you kind of have to know that they're also watching that, and like, how do you? Yeah, exactly. I think that's exactly what it is. But I recently got to do another stadium pop out at SoFi, with Millennium, and different experience. I think because I had that first experience, I really tried to think of that. I was like looking up at the screen, I saw myself, and I leaned back and like did the arms back, and I was like, definitely can't do that in like a 300 cap room, like soaking in the audience. But it's so special to sort of. That's what I love about live performance. You have to treat each show differently depending on the size of the audience, etc.
And I guess you mentioned earlier you can crowd surf in a smaller crowd. Can you not crowd? I guess
I'd probably get lost. I'm so small. Like I feel like my body would just travel so far. Even in these intimate shows we've been doing recently, I've been going all the way to the back, and then they bring me all the way to the front.
Oh my God!
Like, if that were a stadium, it'd be like an hour just me floating to the back. And then
where's Max at? We don't know.
But I'm gonna do it. It's in my it's bucket. Got to keep going on the dream. So
what a trip!
Crowd surfing in the stadium is next.
You should pull like one of the. Is it Aoki that does? Who does the raft? The
oh
raft?
Yeah. Aoki, the best guy, man. Steve is like
he's nuts.
He's also the type where he just wants to keep getting the energy up. Like so I got to get some tips from him. Raft next.
If you get tips from Aoki, you'll be caking people soon.
He's got the best cake accuracy in the world.
I was watching videos of him the other night. He can throw a cake from 50 feet away and bam, right on the nose, like little nose.
Who knew that would be his legacy even more? Like the music's amazing, but I feel like the cake throwing will be forever.
I asked him, I said, how long are you going to do the cake thing? He goes, dude, it's like a runaway train. You can't stop it.
You can't stop it.
I'm sure you're thinking about this, whether you can say it or not. I don't know. Album is out. Tour plans.
Oh, yes.
Clearly.
Working on it. Yeah, figuring it out. Like I said, just to be honest with you, my 3-year-old's amazing, and I want to show up to school, so I'm figuring out how to balance that. And I'm definitely, there's so many amazing fans around the world that I want to come and play for. So we're figuring out how I can do that, but also be home. So
how do you bring a 3-year-old on? I mean, I'm sure that she could do a couple of dates.
Yeah,
but maybe I don't know if she could do the whole tour. I don't know how that
exactly.
would work.
We're kind of figuring back and forth. But crazy enough, the first show she ever saw me perform was in Korea recently in May. Like so, she's already experienced the world and the shows in different ways. So it's cool that she's I hope she looks back on that and it's like, cool, yeah, the first time I start performance here. So
100% she will.
I hope so.
Do you enjoy, aside from that, the difficulties of trying to figure out how to bring your daughter, do you like road life? You love stage.
Yes,
you
love
like road
stage.
Life?
It's just a part. I think that's the job, is the road life. Like I love the camaraderie. I love my band. I love that we are just like a little family together on the road, and that's something you can't really replicate. But it's brutal, man. Just airports. I'm just sleeping on floors with my little. I can sleep anywhere. I've learned through my road life, though. Like I don't even care. Like if you see me in the airport and you're a fan, and I'm sleeping on the floor, I got to do what I got to do, baby. I don't mind. I just put on the hoodie and just lay down on the ground. So it's definitely a humbling experience to travel on road life, which is good. I like that.
All right. Too. I have another quote. Let me tease this, and I'll ask the question later. But I have an idea. For me, a concert, the intro is so important to me.
Yes.
So I'm going to ask, have you thought of the intro, your intro? Because I have an idea for you.
Oh.
I mean,
I want to hear it.
Okay, I'll get to it in a sec. Max, your wife, Emily, her reaction to Stupid in Love.
Loved it. Loves it. Like really I think it's just we love doing the dances everywhere together. We've been doing it in so many funny places. Like I brought her to the Knicks game. I'm a diehard Knicks fan for anybody who doesn't know. And it's been amazing. They always hook it up courtside, which is a big dream for me to be courtside at Knicks games. So we did the dance courtside at the Knicks game for a TikTok. And it's been so fun to just like, of course the song's for her, but to share it truly and like do these fun little things at places and just be literally just courtside doing the dance in such a cheeky way, and all these like giant celebrities around us like, what the hell are they doing? Is amazing. I mean, it just really connects us, which is what it's all about. So it's been so fun to share the song, and obviously she's the inspiration.
And I saw you post on IG the other day. She ranked the top 5 songs written about her by you, of course.
Yes.
What I think if I was Stupid in Love ranked number 3?
It was number 2.
Number 2. Okay, what was number 1?
Number 1 was It's You with my friend Keshi. I think it's so hard. Like the ranking idea that we've been doing is it's so hard. People are like, why? How could you rank these? And I'm just like, they're all number 1. But I thought it was a fun idea. But yeah, she ranked Stupid in Love number 2 on the list that we were given. Yeah.
Max, Stupid in Love with Yunjin.
Yes.
What can you say about this track that we haven't said already?
I'm just so glad people are into it. I think that I've gone through a real self-acceptance journey in the last few years. And this
Meaning
song
what?
is. It's a great question. I feel like for a long time, you know me for a very long time. Right. And I think finding just accepting who you are in the way of, I am just a very loving person. I unapologetically love. I love kind, humble people. I love when people are just themselves, and I want people to live their truth. And this song is what it is. Like, it's so fun and ridiculous, and like, I love everything about it. And if people don't like it, that's okay. And I think I'm accepting that some people are not going to like you, and that's okay. That's my other thing. Like, I need to accept that if I'm being exactly who I am and people don't like it, what can I do? There's nothing I can do about that. So why care about that, And
True.
And you got to be a magnet to the people that you do want in your life. And I think this song is a representation of, like, if you love this song, then you see my core, and I hope you're accepted and welcomed, And if you don't, that's all good. We weren't meant to be in each other's lives, I guess. So that's kind of what I'm going for. And life is too short. Why try to impress the people that are never going to like you anyway, So that's kind of what the song is.
I love everything you just said.
Thanks, man.
Everything. You're thinking tour,
Yes,
Well,
yes.
I know your tour is coming, obviously.
Yes, yeah.
I love show intros.
Yes.
I've been a fan of, Michael Jackson's my all-time.
The best.
There you go. I have an idea that's part MJ, a lot Max.
Yes.
So hear me out for the intro.
Yes.
All right. The toaster, when you pop out of the...
Oh, yeah, of course.
If there's a way to get a toaster, if you don't know what a toaster is, I'm not talking toast. I'm talking the thing that springs the artist up from the stage.
Yes.
And Michael, back in the day, MJ did this thing where he shot through I think this was the Dangerous tour, maybe. He shot from the stage, and he popped up, and he just stood there, still as he didn't move, and the crowd screamed for about 2 minutes. Look this up if you have. It's just I even told the BTS guys about this. I'm sure they had seen it, but they didn't do this, but I threw it at them too. But here's my twist on you.
Ooh.
You're known for because every time we take pics, you'll jump and you do
the
splits. Yeah. So if you shoot through the toaster, splits. You got to be careful, of course.
Of course.
And then land super still, and the crowd screams for a second or however long you want to do it, and then at some point, like your dancers or whoever, as you stand still, they come make sure your hair is straight and like just but real serious, like the crowd, you're staying still, patting you down, hair, and all of a sudden, bam, you go into whatever, and off you go.
I love it.
Would that be? I mean, is that too? I don't know how expensive the toaster is. Or
I don't
how
know
that works.
either.
You know,
I want it though. That would be so. You know who is keeping that alive? By the way, shout out to Psy, another amazing artist. I know you know Psy.
Yes,
that dude jumps out. He's my like 10 years from now. I know he's about 10 years old. I want to be at his level still in 10 years. I want to jump out that toaster. I want to be given the energy. So
have you seen? I love watching the videos of him underneath. It shows kind of how he gets kind of squats down and he waves at the guy and then boing, he shoots up.
Yes,
it seems dangerous too, though.
Definitely dangerous, but isn't it all? Right. You know what's funny? The things that I've hurt myself doing are never the dangerous things. It's always the stupid things.
Give me a stupid one.
One time I broke my foot in a show, but it wasn't crowd surfing. It was because I stepped into the audience and someone left their bag on the floor and I twisted my foot in their bag. And I've crowd surfed so many times. I've jumped up on things. Like I've done all the craziest stuff. And it's always just I'll just jump in the crowd real quick. And then no, I break my foot for 6 weeks.
God,
so
what the heck? All right.
Classic. Got to stay careful.
Okay, yeah. Keep your purse off the. I guess where's she supposed to put her purse?
Exactly. No,
it's your fault. I guess
it is my fault. There's no blame to her. I was just like, how did I not see this purse? I'm such a dummy.
You co-wrote BTS's "Yet to Come."
Yes, sir.
And I saw you post this a little while back on your Instagram. You got your plaque from Billboard, the #1. You know, what does this song mean to you? What is that moment? What does it mean to you and I guess your career in general? It's a special thing.
It makes me want to cry thinking about it. They have done so much for my life. I mean, just as even a fan, I think anybody who's in Army or anybody that loves BTS, I think that I really gave me just becoming an appreciator, a supporter. I've always loved fashion. They're such nice people. It just like gave me hope. I was like, they're not trying to be too cool. They just are who they are. And I think it really gave me a lot of confidence. So not only as a group have they been so special, but then just getting to collaborate with them, write with them, it's like a joy. Every single time I get to be a part of that world. And Yet to Come, being asked to try to write for that, they sent me this track. I literally wrote like 6 songs to it. I was about to say 10.
Oh, really?
I didn't write 10 songs. I wrote 6 songs. But I wrote 6 songs over like 5 months because I just so badly wanted to do the best job I could with the opportunity. And I didn't hear anything. And then I got to see them for the first time live at SoFi Stadium. And the night I went, it was the first time Emily got to see them live. And that was the night I found out that they chose the version of Yet to Come that I had co-written. And that night was one of the greatest nights of my life. Like having my wife see this amazing world that has really changed my life and how magic it is and these amazing performers and just the song itself and such a special song for them, you know, taking the leave of absence and coming back soon. I just feel really grateful that I got to be a part of that. It's one of the greatest honors of my life.
Super cool. And okay, now I need to know what clearly the version that they picked, we all know.
Yes.
What would it have been if they would have picked something else? Was there another title or was it always called Yet to Come?
I had so many songs. I mean, I'm sure they got hundreds of songs. It's like, you know, usually a track is a lot of stuff in that world is like they send you a track that's definitely going to be the track. And then tons of songs are written to it, and then they take it and co-write to it. It's like everybody. It's a very collaborative process. So, I mean, I'm trying to remember another one that I wrote. I wrote so many different songs on that track, like so many. I wanted to give all the flavors, but that was the first one. The one that they did choose was the first one that I gave by myself. I wrote it on an airplane from LA to New York, and then recorded the demo in my bedroom in New York. So it was really humbling that, you know, this very intimate thing for me was what they ended up utilizing to co-write it.
Max, you know I love the paranormal. Ghost, haunted houses.
I was ready for this section. Let's go.
Oh, man. Okay, my question to you is, we've talked about the paranormal and your experiences before. If you have one, feel free to share it.
Yes, sir.
But my question to you is, when this tour kicks off, and I say this to a lot of artists, and a few have agreed, but you're the one I really think we could really do this.
Yes.
If I can secretly find the hotels that you're booking,
yes,
of course, top secret, and I'm going to research, you know, and see which ones have a haunted history.
Love it.
And then I'll come to you and say, Max, Hotel XYZ has haunted room this, haunted room that. Could you and I, you know, bring the cameras in and stay a night in the haunted room, just me and you under the covers, and document what we see?
The answer is yes.
Oh, yeah.
The answer is yes.
I mean, clearly you've probably stayed on tours because a lot of hotels have these, you know, have a history.
Yes.
Have you ever stayed in one of these rooms?
I've definitely, and I didn't really know about it. It's funny. I was just talking to Keshi the other night. He was in my house talking about a place that he stayed that was a paranormal situation as well.
Okay, tell him to talk
so
to me.
crazy.
Too.
Oh yeah, have you had an interview with him?
No,
yet?
never had.
The best guy. You're gonna love him. But also, yes, we were just talking about this the other night. I think the last time that I had stayed in one that I didn't know was in Milwaukee. There's like this venue called the Rave. A lot of people know.
I know exactly.
I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
AJR's. I'll tell you a story in a second. Go ahead.
But yeah, just that experience. It's just an energy. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just like, you know that there's other things around you. You know what I mean? I'm a big energy guy. So yeah, and I just felt it. And I feel it in a lot of different places for sure. But place I grew up in New York, it's called The Loft. My mom has been there for 45 years. There are a lot of, it has its own energy. There are definitely other spirits in that. I live with them my whole life. So
wow.
It's not a thing that freaks me out, but it's something that just like I'm aware of. And I'm just like, yeah, just when you know you're not alone, there's definitely a different feeling in your body, I would say.
Max, we're gonna do this.
I'm ready.
When the tour, when you get everything set, please just have your crew or you or whoever just text me up and say, here's what we're looking at. I'm going to set this up. We're going to do this. By the way, AJR told me that at the Rave in Milwaukee, they were about to go into their green room, right?
Yes.
Or their dressing room. And they opened the door, and they take a peek in. One entrance, and they shut the door and had another chat for about 30 seconds. They opened the door again, and the chairs are stacked up. It's like the chairs fell up.
Oh, my gosh.
And he asked around, like, is there some sort of prank? Nope. This kind of stuff happens all the time. The chairs, I mean, within 30 seconds, they're perfectly stacked, kind of balancing in a weird way. I don't know.
What?
It is.
That's the craziest one I've ever heard.
It's
the physical part of that is insane.
Nuts. Max, true or false, you are manifesting a collab with Dolly Parton.
Yes, I am. True, baby. That's true. I knew that was coming. Let's go.
The hope is to get her collab on this deluxe album.
I would love that. Let's keep manifesting, please. I've been so patient. I love her with all my heart. Let's go, please.
Now, the fact that you said this and you've kind of put it out for like the deluxe album's not going to be that far down the road.
Not that far, exactly.
So it makes me think, has something been brewing already?
It's been brewing for so long.
So
I don't know,
how
honestly.
close are we?
I was supposed to meet her finally over the summer when I was touring with the Big Time Rush guys. I diverted my bus to go back to Nashville just to meet her. 6 p.m. the night before, they're like, oh, Dolly's sick. We can't do tomorrow. She wrote me this letter I've told you about. It's in my house from the Butterflies song. It's like 4 years in the making, and just the hopeful collaboration process. But I'm patient, and it just, when you want something bad, you got to be patient, guys. That's the lesson. Like, if you really want it, you got to wait for the right time. So the right time hasn't come yet, but I adore her. I love everything she stands for, and she's a huge hero to me. So I hope we can make it happen.
So you're going to basically, I would imagine, within reason, you would postpone the deluxe album release if, you know,
yes.
Not for
I would
2
postpone
years.
everything. I postpone the tour. I postpone the next birth of my next child. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, no.
But you're going to basically move heaven and earth
I'm
if
all
she
in.
wants to get this thing to happen.
If Dolly called me right now, it's like, I got time tonight, I'd be there tonight. I would fly to Nashville
Let's
right
go,
now.
Dolly. Let's go. I love your stories. You've been on tour a ton. Let me put the two together.
Yes.
Crazy road stories.
Oh my gosh.
Give me something that, I don't know. I mean, I've talked to so many bands and equipment gets, stolen.
Yes.
They lose a band member in a country. You
Yes.
know, the septic tank breaks on a tour bus. That was One Republic.
Oh, wow.
So what do you got?
I feel like I've told you the first one in my mind. I don't know if I've told you. I've told you this.
If you told it before, that's
Okay.
totally fine.
I'm going to tell you, it's the only one I can think of right now. But first time I performed in the Philippines. Who gave a lot of love. I
yes,
remember the story.
I love it.
Okay, I'll just say it. Whatever. It's the only one in my mind. So I'm in the Philippines. I'm performing there for the first time. I'm in this hotel. It's like armed guards, the hotel. Very different experience for me. I do the show. I come back to my hotel room. I'm FaceTiming my wife. And I notice that in my hotel room, there's black Sharpie on my bathroom mirror, like a handwritten note on my mirror, and my heart drops. Like, I was like, oh my God, what's happening? Oh, this is, like, I look around, I'm like, am I going to die? This is crazy. I look up at the mirror, and like, murder movie style, it's like, hi, Max, if you want to see how we party, come to the 4th floor lobby. And I was like, oh my God, what? So I call the front desk. I'm like, hi, someone's broken in my room. Like, they're like, oh, we're so sorry. Send nobody. I was just like in a foreign country. I'm in my room. I call my guitar player Ryan. I was like, can you come to my room? I'm like kind of scared right now. He goes, Ryan, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh my God. And nobody comes upstairs. And so I just kind of like sleep. I go to sleep. I like I put all my suitcases up against the room. I didn't go to the 4th floor lobby because I didn't know. Next day, I find out that someone at the hotel was a fan and found out what room I was in and asked the manager if it would be cool to leave this note on my bathroom mirror. And I was like, what? Who says yes to that? That's crazy. So luckily it was like a wholesome thing. But in the moment, like that night of sleep was insane. Like being in a foreign country, nobody coming up nobody came up. It was, I will never forget it. It was like such a wild experience. But grateful for the love. Thank you so much. I'm glad it was a sweet thing. But in the moment, it was crazy.
Send help. No help.
Literally, they were like, oh, we're so sorry. And then nobody, they don't send anybody.
Good God. Message to your fans, the day ones, the new fans, all of them. I mean, what your heart. You love this group of people. What's your message to
I
them?
think more than ever, I'm so grateful. Again, I've had a fan came up to me last week. I was like, I just started being a fan on Tuesday, which is such an incredible thing to hear. Like, wow, welcome, so cool. And then the people who've been to like 10 shows, 20, 40 shows. I had someone come up to me that's been to 40 shows. And it's so I just love that people feel like there's a safe space and that they want to keep coming back. And that is one of the greatest joys of my life. So I'm grateful to the fans that believed in me and have cared, and I love them. I truly do. Like, I don't say that like an artist, dude. I really love those people, because if you spend that much time with my music, thank you. And be yourselves, live your truth. And I always say from rags, I follow my dreams. That's the message to them, and follow your dreams. Always do.
There's something about live shows with an artist that you love, because we could listen to, your music at the house, in the car, but there's something about being around, and it's about, as much as it's about you, it's about the other people around, and it's just there's something special about it.
The greatest.
What else do people need to know about Max?
We're going to do the Super in Love dance with the ghost. It's going to be great.
It's going to be the best thing ever.
Worlds.
Oh my God.
What else do they need to know? I'm just grateful. I hope they like the album. I've been working on it for a while, and thank you to all the incredible collaborators. It's a lot of people you don't see that really make the magic. So thank you to everybody who worked on it with me, and to anybody out there that's aspiring to do this. Just keep fighting for it. Keep going for it, honestly. Yeah, because the fight's never going to stop, but if you're passionate about it, you'll always get there. So keep going.
Max, at the end of every interview, fist bump to make it official.
Fist bump to make it official, baby.
Bam!
Love you, brother. Thank you.
Love you back.